welcome to Ecoholics Heart to Heart with Toppers. Our guest for today is Indian Economic Services AIR 9, Divya Thalwal. Welcome to the show, Divya. This winter has indeed brought blossoms for you.
Yes, sir, definitely.
So we hope that you could let the little secrets out now, since you have emerged victorious.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so to start with, every topper has their result checking story and family reactions that follow. Firstly, were you expecting this?
So I wanted it, but I was not expecting it. It was so sudden, and actually the result came out so fast. Like 1 week back only I had my interview and the result came out so quickly. So that was also a shocker. Then my name in the list. That was another feeling. Yeah.
And what were the reactions that followed?
Yes, so in the afternoon the result came. I was at home. My parents were not at home. So I called them and they were very happy. And later when they came home, then it was all celebration and all. And then there were so many calls of friends, family, relatives, everyone. So that was a very, very amazing feeling, sir.
Okay, amazing. And it would be nice if we can start with a brief background about you so that aspirants can relate to your journey more.
Yes, sir. So I come from Mussoorie, Uttarakhand. And I've done my schooling from Mussoorie only. Then I did my graduation in economics from Delhi and then post-graduation as well. So, and this was my first attempt at the Indian Economic Services.
Okay, that's even more amazing. So, were you a working candidate?
No, sir. I've been preparing.
Okay. So what was your motivation behind getting into IES, and why IES over other competitive examinations?
So, first of all, I should start from the very beginning, sir. Like, economics was never my plan. Like when I was in 11th and 12th, I had a science background without economics. And then it was like after 12th, I did not want to do anything in science. And then I just explored options and economics. I was like, let's do economics. Then also I did not know much about what I'm going for. And I took economics honors. And then after that, it was that I developed interest in economics and came to know about Indian Economic Service. And then I always had this thing, bachpan se only, like I want to work for the government of India. And then like both the things were coming together. Working in economics, working for government of India. And then, so it was perfect. So I thought I should try for that.
And since you belong to Mussoorie, you must have meeting. Exactly.
Yes.
So, well begun is half done, they say. So how did you start off with your preparation?
So I think, sir, this thing everyone should know. And I also did this only. That first of all is syllabus. First thing that anyone should do is download the syllabus, keep the syllabus always, even till the end. Syllabus has to be kept with yourself. And after that, like I referred a previous year toppers, blogs, videos, and that way I started. Previous year question papers also I downloaded and looked at them to understand the nature of the examination, what exactly the demand of the examination. So that way was the beginning. And then I looked at the sources, what sources I should be referring, what previous year toppers have done, what has been their strategy. So looking at everyone's strategy and then devising one for my own, which is personal to me. So that was the starting point.
Okay. That's amazing. Like personalization, even I feel is important because people
because everyone is different. Everyone's strengths and weaknesses are different. Background is different. So that way, personalization is the most important thing. You can't blindly follow someone.
Definitely. Now, understanding the tricks of the trade, let's move into GS first.
Yes.
How did you eat the GS frog?
Yes, so GS looks very daunting because it's very wide. Like, you don't know, there is history, there's geography, polity, everything. So I think one very important thing, like newspaper reading is like very important for the exam, because anything that, like, if we study geography, then also environmental related issues from the newspaper, then polity related issues. Like in our exam also, there were so many current affairs based questions in polity, which you did not need any specialized knowledge of polity or political science. You just had to be aware of what is happening around you. So many questions could be answered that way. And then for history, you should I think NCRTs are the basic books that should be referred for all these GS topics. And having a basic understanding. You don't need to memorize the dates or everything in history. You should have a basic understanding of the timeline, how things happen, a very general understanding. So that will do for GS, I think. So I also went this way only. I did basic books like NCRTs and newspaper reading.
And which newspapers did you read?
I used to read only one newspaper, and that is The Hindu.
Okay. That's amazing. And now coming to the English part, did you prepare, or how much did you prepare for English?
I think I did not get so much time for that, but I did understand the paper. Like if there is an essay, there is a paragraph, there is a précis. So that way I just looked at the topics. What are the topics that they have been asking in the past in the essay? Then a certain relevant news items I knew, like I used them in my paragraph also, like some recent current affairs that I had read related to the topic that way, and some quotations also, which I have heard many times. You can use common quotations. So those kind of quotations and anecdotes that I prepared. And précis also, I just looked at how a précis should be written that way. So these are the few things that I did for English paper.
So English wasn't a troublesome paper for you?
No, like it is doable if you have English medium background, and it is doable. So that way I just did the basic things, understanding what has been asked in the past. Some topics like women empowerment, poverty, these kind of topics are repeated. So that way I did that.
Okay. Now, talking about the elephants in the room, which of the 4 papers did you find the most difficult, and why?
For me, personally, this is for me. For me, the most difficult was GE1, because it had a lot of quantitative part, econometrics, and I have very poor knowledge of econometrics. Still, I say this. So that way, GE1 was the most difficult. And in fact, in the exam hall also, I left I think 10-15 marks or something. So that way, after the first paper, I felt, I was like, nahi, mera to nahi hone wala hai. So that was very difficult, this first paper. But I think the first paper is only the most scoring also. But it is the most it was the most difficult for me because of the quantitative aspect.
Okay. And can we know the paper-wise special value additions that you did? You feel the students should know? See,
first thing that I already mentioned is the syllabus. So I did not go book-wise. Like if even rank 1 is telling me he do this book, I will not blindly do that book. I will just go syllabus-wise. Like if there is this pointer in the syllabus, I should have 1 page about that pointer. I should know that topic to be able to write something on that. If it is theoretical. And every pointer-wise, I made notes. For GE1, we have the H.L. Ahuja book. So it is huge. So you can't keep rereading that book again for revision. So that way, I made short notes out of it. And I revised my notes only for that. And there were some topics which I did not make notes, but I referred previous year students' candidates' notes. And from that, I did.
Okay. So that's also a personalized strategy worked there.
Yes. I want to say that just don't blindly read books. What value addition those books are doing. If there is one topic, then for one topic, reading one entire book is not what I would suggest. You can go topic wise and you can just Google those topics. Like for environmental economics, many people recommend different books like Colsted but when I looked at those books, they seemed huge for me. I was like, I can't go through these so many of these books just for this environmental eco part. So I went topic wise. If there is use value, bequest, these value, environmental values. So I just Googled them, 1-line definition, then an example of that, and 2-3 examples That way I made my own notes for that instead of going through huge pages of the books and everything. So that I would suggest to everyone that Googling is the easiest and the best thing to do.
Yes, and it needs to be understood by students as well that these books are not specifically written for the examination.
Yes, definitely. They are not meant for Indian economic service. We need to understand the exam and we need to make our thing, like not those books, but our notes or our what we want. We need to write in the exam. That way we have to prepare our notes.
Definitely. Now, I would still ask you about the sources or the books referred paper-wise, so that the aspirants get a nag of it.
So, for GE1, first book for microeconomics was H.L. Ahuja, from which I made my own notes. Mm-hmm. The second was Nicholson and Snyder for the quantitative part, and Gujarati for econometrics. I wasn't able to completely do that cover by cover, but tried to do the important topics. I already mentioned that weak areas, you should work on the strengths. So weak areas, I just tried to do what is relevant for the exam, what has been previously asked for the exam. And even in the quantitative part, there are certain things that are repeated, like LPP, optimization problems, and input-output models. So these were my focus areas, that these should be done properly. It doesn't matter from which book you do. Like these input-output problems, LPP problems, I did not have any book. My sister is doing BCom honors, and she had this book, Mathematics for Business. So from that book, I saw this topic from that book. Isme hai ye optimization problem. So I did it from there. So it doesn't matter from which book you do. You should know the topic. Finally, in the exam, you should be able to solve that problem. You don't have to write there that I did it from S.K. Gupta or whatever. So that
definitely.
So these were my basic sources: H.L. Ahuja, Nicholson, Snyder, and then previous year toppers notes also. Wherever there were gaps, I tried to fill those with those notes, and whatever previous year questions, I made my own model answers for those, because many times questions are repeated. Just like the language may be changed, format may be changed, but those questions are repeated. So that way I tried to, when I read previous year questions, in my mind only I tried to make up answers for them. So that was also part of the strategy. So that was GE1. Then for GE2, my basic book for macro was Freud. And I filled the gaps again through toppers notes. And second, for development economics, I read ML Jhingan, but very, very specific, only like model wise. If this model is good in ML Jhingan, then I did it from there. Otherwise, sometimes I also refer to Google sources or toppers notes. Wherever I found the simplest and most understandable version of a model, that I did. Then Indian economy was the most interesting one for me. Through this exam, I got to know so much about Indian economy. So, and Indian economy, I loved making notes of Indian economy, and that again I did through toppers notes and some book. I think I am unable to recall the name of the book right now. Yeah, Uma Kapila, I think. Yeah, I referred that book. And normally also, like Google searches also, there are certain newspaper articles which give like the unemployment situation in the country, inflation, certain values, certain graphs also you get on the internet. So I used those notes and those toppers notes and Googling it, Indian economy. I made my own notes for that.
So the gist of your sources is the understanding conceptual clarity is more important than the books referred.
Yes. There are certain basic books that should be referred. Like I forgot to mention this, International Economics, Salvatore, that should be referred. And these books. And then your own notes, which can be from varied sources. Google searches, previous year toppers notes, or even if you think that certain toppers notes are according to your understanding, then you can completely refer to those notes only. You don't have to, make those notes again. And if you are fine with that, it's up to it's personalized.
Yeah, definitely. Now, please let us know about your revision strategy and how many rounds of revisions did it take for you to compile those notes into the handy ones?
Yes, this revision I think is the most important, because you can keep studying the entire year, but then the last month that is when you have to, do your best, and revision is what matters at the end, because revision makes you recall at the last moment, because 3 hours you have and you have to complete the paper. Nothing comes in your mind, and especially in Indian economy paper, when you're in a hurry to complete the paper, nothing is coming in your mind after giving so many days of so many 3-hour sessions of exams. So that way revision is very important. And for revision, you should make your short notes, like very crisp notes, and you should divide your time. These many days I'll give for Indian economy, these 2 days I'll give for econometrics, then these 3 days I'll give for micro, this topic, then 2 days for environmental eco. So that way you need to make a timetable for yourself and also stick to that timetable. Otherwise time flies and then you have your exam. So that way you should have a proper revision strategy, and you should work on your strengths and weaknesses, as I already mentioned. So that way, short and crisp notes, which should be reread again and again. And I do not even remember how many times I revised. So revision is continuous, like you keep revising. If your syllabus is complete, then revise. If the revision is complete, again revise. So that way.
Okay, amazing. Now, how was your answer writing practice? How did you practice the answers?
Okay, I did not do any specific answer writing. Yes, for the quantitative part, I did practice numericals, because you need to practice numericals, because sometimes you look at a numerical, like in a previous year question, you might have seen, and you like, हाँ ये तो मैंने graduation में भी करा था, हो जाएगा, करने की जरूरत नहीं है. But in the actual exam, there was this one numerical which I had seen previously. I was like, हाँ ये तो हो जाएगा, इसको practice भी करने की क्या जरूरत है. And in the exam, I got stuck with that. So that way, that we also, there are certain mistakes that we have also made, like toppers also make. So that way, I should say that even the easy numericals also, you should practice them, and numericals will come with practice. So those things should be practiced, and the rest answer writing for other subjects. If you feel that you need to practice that, then you should. But in my case, I did make the answers in my mind. Like I read the questions, and I used to think about it, that what I will write, how I will write the introduction, how my body will be, then how will I will conclude the answer. But for other subjects, I did not do any answer writing for that. But the numericals and quantitative part, that has to be practiced well.
I think due to paucity of the time, you practiced the structuring of your answers in your mind than writing it down. Okay. Now coming to the interview experience, how was it, the actual interview, and how did you prepare for that? Yes, the actual interview, my interview, I found it was like not too good, not too bad. It was very average. Like I did not commit any major blunder or anything, but it went well, because the board was also cordial. And they were also smiling the whole time. I was also smiling, and mostly the questions were asked from my DAF. It was on Uttarakhand, the ecology of Uttarakhand, how it is being, like the hill stations. I'm from Mussoorie. So that way it revolved around Uttarakhand only. Very little from nothing from Indian economy. I was expecting a lot of questions from Indian economic situation, inflation, and global recession, all these questions, but none from there. So interview does not go as expected. It can go anywhere. So, and rest from economics, basic theoretical questions from economics, and certain situational questions, like if you are made the like a secretary of Ministry of Women and Child Development, and you are given these many funds, how will you go about it? How will you allocate the funds? And some certain questions on startups in India, apps and platforms. All these questions were asked, and so that was my interview experience. And it was in the middle of the interview, for once I just forgot that this is a UPSC interview going on. For once I was like, I'm just having a conversation with these people. Yeah, like that way. So that was good. That was very nice. It was an amazing experience, like once in a lifetime experience, going to the UPSC Bhavan. And the preparation for it, was mostly,
for me, it was like less knowledge. I was mostly concentrated on increasing my confidence for that. Like I have to look confident, even if I don't know things. I did not go on revising stuff. Instead, I practiced speaking skills, communication, and I also gave mock interviews. I gave at Ecoholics also, and there that helped me a lot because they gave me a video as well and feedback. That feedback helped me, and from the video, because when I gave the mock interview, I was like, "हाँ, मेरे तो अच्छा गया, अच्छा mock interview था." But when I looked at the video, then I realized that my eyes are wandering away. My my voice is not clear, and I'm doing so many in the middle, and my answers are not clear. They are so vague, and my body language is not proper. It's so underconfident. So that way, I came to know a lot from that also. So for that, I'm very thankful for Ecoholics. And then I had a one-on-one session with Sanat sir, and he gave me a lot of advice and everything that, how I should go about it. And he also mentioned this only, that don't concentrate on your knowledge part, concentrate on the confidence part. So that I did that only in the actual interview. I was like, even if I don't know any answer, I'll look confident, I'll act confident. Even if I am not confident, I'll pretend to be confident. That was the thing.
Fake it till you make it?
Yeah.
Okay. So you, as a person, come out to be very positive. How did you maintain this during those low times as well?
Right now, I might look very positive, but there have been low phases, very low phases. And then it was the support from my family, my friends, whom I used to call at odd hours. And they supported me, they motivated me, my parents, my mother, my father, special thanks to them, my sister. I have to mention my sister here because those 3 days, which the examination days, they were grueling. I mean, that was like 3 hours in the morning and 3 hours in the afternoon. That was very tiring for me. And my sister, she helped me a lot that time. So that way, I want to thank all these people. They have been a blessing for me. And because of them only, it has been possible today. Like, I am getting all the congratulations and all the praises, but they deserve it more than me.
Yeah. There are pillars of preparation without which we cannot achieve many.
Definitely. Nothing. I couldn't have achieved anything without them.
Okay, Divya. Now, coming to the final part, how was your experience with Ecoholics?
My experience with Ecoholics has been amazing because it was the first mock interview that I gave was with Ecoholics. And then I was like, interview kya hota hai? Interview to ho jayega. Jab written ho gaya, interview ho jayega. But then I realized ki kitne pani mein hu. So that way it was very helpful. The feedback was very good. The questions asked were very relevant. And all the interview panelists, they were also very amazing. And after that, the session that I had with Sanat sir, that was also very enriching. So I'm very thankful for Ecoholics because they have made their contribution and their contribution has been very great for me.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Divya, for being a part of our family. We hope that students benefit a lot from your insights and come as junior officers in the upcoming batches to thank you.
Definitely.
Okay, thank you for taking out time in these times of celebration.
Thank you so much for having me here.